finally going to get started here. The teams have been picked. The bans have been made. And for the most part, it looks like they're actually doing the correct bans here as we see them coming in. Blitzcrank, Shen, Lux, Zinzao, Ezreal. Those were the bans. So we're just missing one more. Coming in.
Amumu.
Yep. The sad mummy.
Sadly doesn't get played again.
Yeah, he was really effective in the one game that he was able to make it through, and then after that hasn't been seen since. But yeah, some strong lineups coming from both teams. I was able to spot out that one team did pick Cho'Gath, so we'll just see if that is a factor. But some hard hitters coming in here, at least on the Darius side.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of damage on that team. Even their support is going to do a lot of damage. But we do have, there's a Thresh on that team too, which if anybody watched European LCS, had 100% pick ban rate.
Yep. Was not the case in NA actually. He was available tons of times and they got like basically tricked. But like Thursday there was he didn't even appear and he was unbanned, so.
Yeah. Don't know. They always seem a little behind on stuff though, so that's not really that surprising.
This is true. This is completely true.
But yeah, it looks like, I guess we're having an AD cannon then, which has come back into favor again, which is
yay.
Fun. It's a pretty fun champion. We also have another fun AD carry coming out pretty soon here.
It's the League of...
Oh, there's still 30 seconds left. Oh, they didn't leave us hanging too long. Good.
Yeah, I was like, whoa. Waiting to really lock in those masteries. But yeah, this is interesting lineup. Again, we're gonna actually see some unique things. We're gonna get to see the Thresh Draven bot lane, which actually is very strong when paired together. We're gonna get to see Mundo in the jungle, who is really strong but has get played a lot. And then we're gonna get to see that AD Kennen. But that lineup for SirsiDynix, who's gonna be our blue team here, looks very beefy. Especially just throwing their AD carry down, they look like they'll be pretty strong, except for depending on whatever happens with their AD lane. But
yeah,
seems pretty good.
Yeah, no, I really like their team. If we just talk about the junglers here, it's kind of a tale of what happened from season 3 to now. Mundo was probably the strongest jungler at the beginning of the preseason, and then with the item changes and the jungle changes being further taking more health out of the smaller minions and putting them into the bigger ones, he got quite a bit weaker, and that's why we haven't really seen a lot of him lately. He still hits in the odd game, but definitely not as much. I know I used to just play him every game when I was playing in solo queue, just Mundo every game, and I'd win a lot of those games just because he's such a good character late game, and he actually has decent ganks with his cleaver. But now Hecarim's kind of taken that role away from him. He's virtually unkillable in a team fight late game because of his life gain from his big AoE skill there.
Yeah, and he can facilitate a lot of early ganks. Finally, Spirit of the Lizard Elder is actually being picked up by a lot of junglers like him now, so he's able to actually deal just tons of damage and kind of a little bit scale through the game now. But yeah, late game, as you say, he becomes tanky. He has a huge AoE initiation. Overall, for a team fight, Mundo is kind of like the mini Olaf, if you will, that kind of runs in there and tries to disrupt your carry. But Hecarim actually, as far as a team fight goes, actually has that big, huge AoE fear that can actually be really, really effective. So yeah, it's kind of the same role.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Mundo works here. Although they didn't take a smite.
Yeah, that's actually kind of interesting. I just realized that as well too. Because at first I was waiting for them to switch, because a lot of times teams will come in here, they don't know that we have summoner blockers to block their spells. So they're like, oh, people are ghosting, I'm gonna hide my spells. But in this case, not gonna be. Which I've actually seen before. I've seen teams. I believe we cast a game where there was a Nocturne that didn't go smite.
I think so.
I think it might have been. I think we did at GotaCon possibly, but we'll have to see if that's what happens, or if they try to do some weird. Just get rid of the jungle lane. I know there's been rumors of it happening around, but I don't know how effective it really is. I haven't got to play.
Yeah, but even if you're not going to have a dedicated jungler, you should probably still just have someone with smite for Baron and Dragon control.
Objective controls, yeah. That's the main thing you give up, and they don't. And it's not like they have a Cho'Gath on their team or a Nunu or someone that could just kind of sort of semi-fill that need.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to be pretty in trouble if it comes to the stage where we're jockeying over a Baron. They're going to not even have any chance to come in there and really steal unless they want to blow a lot of stuff, a lot of damage on it. So I don't know.
They're gonna have to really dominate this lane phase.
Yeah.
That's how they're gonna win this game. Well, I mean, we don't actually know where Mundo or Darius is going. Like, probably see Darius top, and I don't know. I just don't like Mundo jungling without smite at all. He gets way too low normally, so.
Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be interesting to see what they actually do with this. I have to believe if he's gonna ghost exhaust, then there must be like some commitment to the fact that if he does come out, he's gonna have to get some early ganks to make this pay off. Hopefully, it was a
Yeah.
mistake. That's always like the heartbreaker if that happens.
Definitely done that before, but it's usually in a blind pick game at about 2 a.m.
Usually not in an after hours gaming league tournament.
Not in any sort of tournament.
Ever, because you're fully awake. But
I
anyways, yeah.
think I think it might have happened in ranked 5 once. We forgot to swap characters. That was interesting.
So to fill you guys in here a little bit about this team, SirsiDynix actually a library software company, and they're going to be going up against Wayforward, who's going to be our red team, which those guys actually are old school video game company. They actually make Nintendo games mostly for the most part for Wii U and all that stuff, and yeah. So these are the two companies that are going to be going off against each other. I know they're not. They're good companies, but I know that they're not as popular as, let's say, a Google or a Microsoft, so people might be wondering who they are, but they all work for those respective companies, and it's fun to see them out here. Again, we've had some good games today. I know that Dancing Buddha was talking to me, said they hadn't played Raytheon or Pipeworks, was asking how that game was going, and was excited that there were some good games today. So hopefully we'll get the same from these guys. We're on a roll. We're on a roll, you and I, right now.
Yes. Yeah, it's been some good games. Even though we had like a bit of a stomp last game. I wouldn't really say stomp though. It's just kind of they just picked them apart piece by piece over the game. That was against the team who's doing the best in the league, so it was good to see. It's still a good game. And then obviously the first game was just it was long. It was pretty funny with the Warwick stuff, and
Yeah.
it was entertaining. And there's a huge comeback. So I mean, both those games were really good to watch.
Yeah. And shout out to Bloody August, obviously a huge SirsiDynix fan right now. Shouting about it in all chat and saying that Draven sucks and AD Cannon for the win. He has faith. He has faith. At least he's not as delusional as the one person we had Dom and I had in chat the other day. That was for one of our UBC esports games. That was a special time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they basically just like, you shouldn't say anything about the other team because my team is the best, and so we kind of trolled her a little bit. It was fun.
Good times.
Yep. So Off-White Fox is going to be playing Ari. That's a shocker. Sometimes you got to live up to your names.
Yes.
It's like Scarnold Trump.
Should jumping in. There we go. All right, we'll see if we get any interesting buys here at the start.
Anything crazy? We have had some interesting starts from some people. At least in the
I
tops.
mainly just want to see what Mundo's doing.
Yeah, and he's gonna keep you waiting with his.
He's juggling.
Maybe he's not sure what he's doing. He's like, I don't know.
Yeah, he's juggling. Well, at least he has the items.
This is true.
He's probably jungling.
At least he does have items. I would hope he's jungling. He's gonna need some strong leashing here.
Yes, he will.
Oh, Draven's gonna face check this, and there is the Rune Prison right off the bat. Cleanse coming off, and they're trying to run out of this. I don't think they'll have enough. But Ignite goes down. This is gonna be close. One more auto attack. I think that might seal it. Yep. First blood going to Rise.
Yikes. That's gonna be tough for Ari now.
30 seconds until minions.
Yeah, they're thinking about invading off this. They don't have Zyra, but they don't really need it. They can actually poke in, just harass this possibly, but looping around should. Yeah, let's go back off.
Don't one man face check the Tribush.
Unless you have unless you're throwing down a ward.
If you're throwing a ward, it's a little bit sketchy. He probably would have been fine there, but Yeah, actually face checking it without a ward by yourself. If you have your team, go for it. But you're still probably going to be in trouble. But if you're by yourself, like, I'm surprised he almost got away there, but he did go down and wasn't the greatest decision. They're going to come in here on the blue.
Yeah, ward is set up though, so they will spot this time, and hopefully we'll be able to escape waiting around right there as if they can't be seen. But smart ward placement right there, seeing that there's the invade coming down, and we might see the counter push for this. It's going to be a 5v5. These fights are volatile, but they do have if they have apprehend. Does he have apprehend? No, he doesn't have decimate. If he had apprehend, I think they could have done some shenanigery by pulling it over the wall, but now they're going to be able to try to engage on this, but Darius is the only one leading the charge, and without smite, I mean, that's the right call. Like, there's no way they're ever going to stop that in a million years.
Yeah, no. The only way they could have got that buff is if they went for the full 5v5 fight, which... Ooh, Rise getting started there, taking quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, getting chunked. Surprisingly enough, Charm does deal damage.
Yes, it does.
Like everybody, like on the way to their lanes, just kind of like saying hello to each other. Looks like Darius is going to get the lead on that, zoning out Cho'Gath a little bit there.
Yeah, Cho'Gath is going to have a pretty big advantage in that lane with the amount of pots he has. Darius only on 3, getting boots so he can dodge ruptures and things. But he doesn't have any wards. Hecarim should be able to apply some pressure up there. Who are you missing a charm? Taking a basketball to the dome instead.
Those basketballs are pretty baller, and I think we should see a blue. Actually, they could actually transfer the blue, or Hecarim might decide to get more ahead here if he wants to take his own blue. But I think they might transfer it over to Rise, and that'll be even more of a problem for Ari, just because Rise, if he has that early blue buff, I mean, and he can just freely spam, doesn't even have to like regulate anything. It'd be a big, huge handful. Should see some action in this top lane, at least in the early stages. Darius could possibly capitalize on, especially if he's able to get to 6 first, which he kind of started to facilitate a little bit by holding off this Cho'Gath.
Oh, nice hook bottom. Sorry, I had to flash.
Oh,
Might
nice.
go down.
Yeah, they got that. Very nicely done.
Yeah, that's the power of Thresh. I mean, he's super tanky blitzcrank, really, with a shield too.
Yeah.
He's a really powerful champ. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see some nerfs on him soon.
Yeah, and the other thing about him too that I feel is, especially with Draven, like the way his hook works, since it's not just like I pull you in, it like almost pulls you in slowly. It just sets Draven up to throw multiple axes at your opponent, and then you have all that other CC, and you just have this ability to hold someone in one place for so long that pairs really nicely with this Draven. We saw right there, caught out, and Draven deals lots of damage.
Yes, he does.
Shocker.
Yeah, I think it's about a 1.5 seconds total of that character not being able to move.
Oh.
Hecarim coming in.
He's gonna be able to get him against that wall. Oh,
Not quite gonna get the stun though.
just barely misses.
He had all the skills, but yeah, they weren't able to pick it up. But they were able to pull that kill back, so that's gonna be good for them.
Yeah, that is really nice, but we haven't, and again, you know, a lot of people, you know, they pick up that first blood, but until they actually go back, I mean, it's really not coming to fruition, that lead yet, because Riot didn't actually go back and buy any extra items, so they don't have to worry about that, or have to deal with that fact of life, so not too bad. But again, only Thresh going to get zoned out here, as Draven did go back, picking up some lifesteal and some attack speed, so he's going to be a handful to deal with, and he's going to get a little bit extra sustain from that, since, you know, Thresh doesn't actually provide sustain to his lane. So
the attack speed's a really interesting choice. Usually you just go straight damage on Draven just because you want to get most of that off spinning axes. See Mundo coming in the top here. Darius didn't fall up. In the mid, Hecarim on... No, Ari's too close to the tower as well.
Yeah, unfortunately pushed her actually farther into the tower. Although Ari is on fumes here, pretty low on mana. We'll see if she's able to press anything. Again, those blue buffs paying off for the junglers. And then Mundo coming in here being a bully right now. But he might get caught out here by this Rise. Runs right into him. Has that CC reduction, luckily. And gets some help from Ari on the way out. But eats a lot of damage.
Yeah, Fry still had flashed, but he might have been able to get that. But he used it on that last little gank there.
See Cho'Gath rotated down, actually blue pilled back, which is not too bad considering he actually had his lane pretty much pushed up on Darius, so he's not going to lose any CS out there.
Well, Darius starting with a pretty nice lead though. Not really sure if Cho'Gath was completely out of pots there, if he just wanted to pick up some quick armor. Nice hook on a cannon here, with a nice snare on the Thresh as well. A lot of damage coming out.
Oh, that is pretty much what to expect, and blows flash onto Kennen as well. So Kennen's gonna have to just play that farm underneath turret game right now. But nice pressure from those two, and that's really what they're built to do. Just pull someone in, deal a lot of damage, and just kind of force them out of lane. Even that's as good as a victory here. But they're gonna have to pot up, and keep trying to sustain through this. But I mean, if they get pushed out again, I mean that's what Draven wants to be in that wheelhouse. And right now, Kennen actually hanging with them in CS, which is actually pretty good for them considering they've had all this pressure on them.
Yeah, I mean, Cannon was able to get a stun off on her tower there too, so that was pretty nice. Hacker might go for this blue steal here. Not sure if he's going to be able to get there in time because there's no smite, but no, he's just going to head bottom through a ward. That's not backing off right away, though.
They didn't really know. Someone must have told them and pinged it and saw it, but oh no, he's actually heading up back towards the blue buff, which actually is already taken, and he's trying to get onto Mundo right now, but that cleaver will deny him. Interesting focus right there. I think if you just ran straight for it and had the timing down, I don't know why you wouldn't just, abuse that over and over again.
Yeah, they had the timing. They just went in a bit late there. I guess he went in because he saw Ahri move over for it, but they were able to hand it off nicely. Hecarim was a bit late, and they end up doing nothing.
Ryze doing work on this Ahri right now, and gonna have to rely on that spell vamp to sustain up here, but he's getting off some nice combos on her and getting her pretty low right now.
Yeah, he's got that tier now. It's starting to charge up, and he's finally able to put that kill to use.
Ryze one of those champions too that we just see people just auto lock in, like they don't even. It's like he just pretty much played against anything right now, and it works with pretty much every team comp. So
yeah, he's tough to counter, and even when he gets behind, he's usually still super beast late game.
Yeah.
Just because of the tankiness on the items he buys. Ultimate coming out here from Thresh.
Oh, nice actually hook in there.
Yeah. Not gonna get anything though.
Yeah, this non-stop pressure from bot lane is going really, really well from Dancing Buddha. We might see him back off along with his support here shortly, but for right now, just catching and throwing axes.
Yeah, so Mundo is actually staying even and might even pull a little ahead of Hecarim here.
That was just pretty impressive. We were a little bit worried about him, and again, we're still, still the buff control is going to be tough for him, but
yeah,
at least as far as just the jungle game goes, even getting his blue buff stolen, the fact that he's able to stay even is pretty solid job on his part.
Yes. Yeah, Hecarim has been looking for some things, but nothing's really come out. Was able to burn a flash mid, but Ryze blew his as well. So yeah, Mundo's done a really nice job of staying in this game despite starting out at a really big disadvantage and not having smite as well. Oh, Darius putting some aggression on Cho. Cho should be pretty safe to just farm up though.
Yeah, this is the problem is once it gets to this stage though, unless he would have had some. We saw that actually the early gank from Mundo avoided. Unless they made something happen there, now it's getting to the point where it's going to be pretty hard. He still can do a lot of damage really quick on command, but it's not going to be easy for him to actually pick off this Cho'Gath without some sort of extra help up there.
If he keeps pushing in though, he does have a 20 CS lead, so that's not the worst either.
True story. And even a Darius behind is still pretty effective. So Darius ahead like this. Somebody going to be a threat to everybody else on the team once they start to encounter him when he comes out of the top lane.
Yeah, we'll have to see how tanky he builds, or if he just goes for damage. Starting Brutalizer, that's fine. Brutalizer's really good on Darius, obviously.
Pretty much good on everybody. We see the Lantern of Hope right there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to 6-sack Cho'Gath grabbing that Lantern. It looks pretty hilarious.
If only he could. It look almost as hilarious as What's her face throwing Tibbers back at Annie?
Yes, Syndra.
Syndra, yeah. I was thinking of Syndra, but all that was popping in my head was SirsiDynix, and I was like, that's not a champion. That's the team that's playing right now. Like,
That is the blue team.
yes.
So we've got pretty good wards here from both top laners. Mid lane's pretty open, but I mean, nobody's really gonna get Ahri as long as their ult's up. Although she is kind of low on mana right now, she's probably gonna have to back off.
Yeah, and Ryze would possibly be a target, but Mundo, I mean, he has some pretty decent ganks, but I mean, I think Ryze can be elusive enough. They'd have to if they land everything.
In the bot lane, there's a bit of a dive there. Mundo's gonna come in, see if he's gonna hit a cleaver.
Yeah, and he's taking have to round this one out. And Ahri coming in here, clean up bot lane, lands the charm and holds him in place. And that is a double kill. Nicely done.
Chris, go down. Yep.
Oh yeah, she's gone.
Oh,
Ryze. Oh, change the subject. This is trouble. That is trouble.
Well, that's super fed Ryze already.
Oh,
and they're good at turret as well, probably.
I mean, it sounded really good, but unfortunately,
that dive that got punished.
Yeah, well, the funny thing was she went back and bought home guard boots so that she could do that teleport and be like really effective. And you saw her zoom in there really quickly, get on top of them. But Ryze had already just rotated over because his team was retreating and getting attacked by Mundo, and so he was there to clean up. And nicely done.
Yeah, Ahri gotten a little bit too aggressive there, trying to dive behind the turret, through it to get cannon, and just took 7 turret shots, I think it was. It did all the damage to her, and she just went down. Ooh, nice catch on a Ryze there. I don't think anybody else is going to be able to follow up, though. And if they trade 1-for-1, Ryze is going to win right now.
Yep. And actually, nicely done. I mean, Ahri, those home guard boots, it was like really cool for that one move, but for right now, it's not necessarily the best item for to actually duel this Ryze in lane.
No Smite Dragon attempt. Let's see how this goes. I think they might be able to get it in time.
Oh, wow. Hecarim's not committing to this. I would just go in there. It's free.
Yeah.
Oh, not able to get within range in time.
Yeah, he just needed to use his speed boost and get in there, or even just his ultimate.
I wonder if they kind of forgot that they don't have it now. But oh, nicely done, Dancing Buddha. Oh, gets saved by the lantern in time. That was.
I don't think the Hecarim ult was gonna hit anyways.
Yeah, I think that was short.
But that was a really nice save there from Logro.
I mean, that was all sorts of death coming for him. And they're still working on this blue buff as it kind of resets a little bit in the bot lane. Although they are pushed out of this bot turret, so it looks like SirsiDynix is going to be able to get this bot turret at this point.
Oh, here goes
Cannon ult. Going to get off some stuns on there onto this Mundo. This Mundo dead to rights. Right now trying to wade into the enemy team. And Off-White Fox just getting eaten alive by this Ryze, who... hasn't even gone back and spent his gold yet. He's almost banking 3K. Will be by the time he heads back, so he can buy whatever the heck he wants.
Yeah, they're gonna take this turret as well. Looks like it. Hecarim just trying to zone out.
Dodging skill shots.
Careful here. As soon as this goes down, they're gonna try to fight.
Oh yeah.
No, they're gonna back off. Well, really nice push there from SirsiDynix.
Meanwhile, 2 guys top, just hitting each other.
Yeah, tanking up. That's not quite to the same Malphite Warwick status we had earlier, but
nothing's gonna be that Warwick status ever again. I don't think.
No.
Oh man, Ahri just eating a lot of damage. You can't even really. I mean, you can't trade it all with Ryze.
No, not even close. Like, she's just gonna get blown up over a 20-second period. It's not gonna be quick, but it will happen. She's not gonna be able to stay in that lane by herself.
Yeah, Darius with a nice 30 CS lead, but Kellendy has actually been able to hang out up there and just still farm up, so he's not falling too far behind, and he is Cho'Gath, so his ult naturally gonna make him tanky. Free item gold essentially right through that.
Mundo having to ult to take his red buff. Needs that smite. don't know if he's used. I think he's used his exhaust once, but I don't know if he's used his ghost. He might not even have used either.
Yeah,
So,
I don't quite remember. I can't remember if he actually has quite yet or not.
I haven't seen them on cooldown, but I haven't looked at it a lot here. Mana's gonna try and sneak in, but there's a good ward.
Yeah, we actually see Hecarim just covering this top lane while Cho'Gath actually finally went back to buy. Actually bought up Aegis, so it's going to be tanky for his team. And it looks like Hecarim is actually going for Locket here. Lately been seeing a lot of that rushing of this Spirit of the Elder Lizard, but in this case it's going to go more tanky and team-centric. They already have Ryze dealing out massive damage.
Yeah.
Bought up his Rod of Ages already.
Kennen has a Bilgewater Cutlass and an Avarice Blade. That's an
Interesting.
interesting build, yeah. Draven go with the longsword. Darius did just go straight for the Black Cleaver.
I mean,
Don't
that's either
really like that. Oh, Thresh getting caught. Kennen ultimate isn't gonna really hit anyone. A little bit of a waste there.
Yep. Just backing off, putting some pressure in here. I guess the Bilgewater Cutlass is gonna be Gunblade. I guess I would have to imagine. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be Hydra, is it? I mean,
it's probably gonna be Blade of the Rune King.
Blade of the Rune King? Oh, actually, yeah, that's right.
But then what? I'm not really sure with the Avarice Blade. I guess maybe that'll turn into a Static Shriv at some point.
Yeah, maybe.
Because you need some attack speed to make that Blade of the Rune King good.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, could have been responsible because there's going to be a lot of health in here, but Zyra getting picked off right away, but that's going to give the rest of the team the time to come in here, and Darius going to be Darius going to be picked up right off the bat, as well as Mundo, and now they're just diving a little bit under turret. Need to be careful of that turret damage. Zyra going to be picked off in the crossfire, but now Off-White Fox still has to deal with that frontline Ryze, who's getting there, trying to be able to deal, but a double kill coming in, and now we finally see the ult from Hecarim trying to get in there, and Off-White Fox is going to fall to the ghost of Ryze. Right there, the team deals out some damage.
So they'll probably end up losing this turret. They shouldn't lose any more members. They might not even lose the turret. Oh, they nice pull there on a cannon.
Has that barrier up, though.
That might have saved the turret. They did get the shutdown on the Ryze though, so I think that ended up being an even trade if they're not able to take any advantage out of this.
Yeah, Ari got beefed up there a bit by being able to pick up that kill. So actually helped her a bit. I mean, not quite Ryze levels, I'm sure. Yeah, she's still down about 13 or 1600 gold to this Ryze, but so is everybody else at least.
Yeah, nobody's even close. Like Ari is in second. In gold for sure. The Ryze is way ahead of everyone. But he did go down there, so I don't know if that was just from the burst from Ari getting tanked out. I didn't really see him take any other damage.
Yeah, he actually took a lot of damage somewhere when he was in that fight. By the time Ari actually fought him in that scrum, he was pretty low. Like, he was below 3rd health, so. That's why Ari was able to capitalize right there. Although, Ryze able still to pick up a kill from the grave with that ignite, and the rest of the damage from the rest of his team following up there. Locket is finished for Hecarim as well, so now they're going to have more dive potential and team fight potential. Mundo looks like, yeah, I'm not quite sure what we're going to see here later on now that we're getting into this phase where the next dragon's coming up and there's going to be a contestant. They're just going to try to fight this out and win a fight. They're not going to be the one on dragon, so I almost think that having patience by SirsiDynix to just let them try to engage the dragon might be the better move. But here we go. We're going to have the fight go off. Dragon's going to be picked up by Kennen, and Darius is going to be the first one to be jumped on, and Mundo eaten alive right now by Hecarim. Double kill for Kennen in that fight. And just so much damage from that team fight. Yeah, just forcing the issue right here. And now we're going to see some more good CC action if they want to hold off this turret.
Oh, that one's on a minion. They should be able to pick it up here.
Yep.
They got tanky enough bodies. They should just go for it. Oh, nice
Zyra.
snare. She's done.
I enjoy that when she dies it says invulnerable because she turns into her plant form.
Yes.
It's on my screen.
Oh, Kennen gets grabbed as well.
Oh, flash burned. Ari might be done. Oh, that was close.
Yeah, I thought she was going to go down, but she didn't.
40 hit points right now.
Well, they did a nice job defending it. They were able to pick up a kill and a flash out of that. So they did lose the flash on Ari, but it was pretty well done there in the position they were in there from Wayforward. SirsiDynix just being way ahead there. They actually missmited the Baron, or sorry, the Dragon, but they still did pick it up.
Sometimes smite isn't everything. Yeah, sometimes you can miss the smite. But
yeah, I mean, really with smite, it's about coordinating your last burst with your team, so everybody attacks at the same time and you're smiting. So you do the big burst, and somebody's skill is going to pick it up. So that might have been part of it too. Sometimes you might have just smited at the same time, and Kennon's attack hit just after.
Yeah, I mean that is. I mean, as well as like we see a lot of Baron buffs too as well, just like trying to coordinate keeping out the enemy jungle. Although they don't have to actually worry about it in this game, which is pretty unique for a game of League of Legends. They don't have to zone out the enemy jungle at all or worry about the smite steal.
No, it's going to make Wayforward have to go for a full fight anytime they go for an objective. And as we just saw at the Dragon, it didn't work out so well. Baron might be a little more difficult to do that at, but Smite's just going to let them get these objectives for free for the most part, unless there is a huge fight.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like they need to. I mean, Muno needs. He's like he kind of needs to be their tank a little bit. And what's happening is actually, we see Damn You on Darius actually being the one that's usually eating a lot of the upfront damage. And I mean, he hasn't quite got any tanky items yet. So I mean, but he's also a big damage source. So I'd almost like to see him come in a little bit later for their team instead of just being up in the front line and getting blown up right away before he can even try to get off a Noxian Guillotine.
Yeah, that's why I usually just like to go tanky Darius. He does a lot of damage with no offensive items. If he had a Warmogs or a Glacial Shroud or something, he'd be surviving a lot more.
Gets silenced, is going to be able to get off the ult, but a lot of CC coming in for him. Looks like he will be picked off as well. And Kennen going here, getting off the stuns, but he's probably going to fall in response with Darius not able to get off that dunk. And now we see the Zyra ult coming in there to possibly pick up more people, but it's a little bit short. That range nerf coming into play. We see Draven actually was throwing his axes there to possibly get a pick off on Chasten, but wasn't quite good enough. But a lot of warding. You can see as they enter in to the jungle to invade, they also place down wards. Like to see that play.
Yes.
From a lot of teams. It's good fundamentals.
They're just going to go push out this bot lane, push out this top lane, maybe pick up that turret. There's not really anybody in position to defend. We should be able to get that in time. Thresh will be the only one there. Draven shouldn't be able to make it in time. There isn't any damage on it yet. So they might be able to save it.
Yeah, I just shout out to Kunev who casted the early game with me this morning. Yes, Mundo did play this game without Smite. It did happen in Lokuro. Trying to get a pick off, but there's no backup for it, and just eats damage to the face. And now Darius trying to deal with this Rise, but this Rise is too huge for anyone right now.
Yeah, nobody's going to be able to take him. Maybe if you throw 3 people on him, it might be possible, but he's got a Rod of Ages. Looks like he's going for a Rotalize, maybe? I'm not sure on that.
Yeah, not quite sure where he's going to go with this. He has a lot of options at this point, at least with his item setup that he has right now. He could possibly even go Randuin's if he really wants to, but he already invested in the Glacial Shroud though, which makes me think that he wouldn't do that. So I don't know. He can go whatever he wants right now at this point. It's basically, I mean, he's just going for stats right now.
Yeah.
Now we have double Locket actually as well for SirsiDynix and the Blade of the Ruined King. There it is. It's out now. It looks like Static Shiv is going to be that next item for Kennen.
Yeah, so an interesting build. Haven't really seen it, but he's doing well, so I think it has a lot to do with Rise.
I'm not going to argue.
I think it has a lot to do with Rise, but Rise might get caught here.
Oh, Exhaust finally coming down. There is the guillotine finally coming out from Darius here. And they could run him down, although the Kennen ult coming back out is going to get the stun underneath turret. No one else up here. Hecarim pushing mid. Zyra ult just to buy time, and Hecarim should be able to get this mid turret, I think. But they're going to have a hard time trying to defend the rest of this, although they do have Cho'Gath here with some wave clear. It's taking him a while to get this first turret. And yeah, Hecarim's already has a huge wave and is halfway through this turret, so he's going to get that as well. Oh, Axe is coming in to try to clear the wave. He needs to call it back really quickly. There it is. Clears that back line, and it might be enough to defend this, but I think Hecarim's going to be stubborn and hold this one out, and he should be able to do it. Nice harass, and no, he saved it. Nicely done by Dancing Buddha. Oh, and the hooks. That was one fast pony.
Should throw the lantern back. There we go. A little bit late. If you threw the lantern back right away, Draven could have gotten in on that quicker. But it was another nice hook. He's doing really well on those hooks.
Oh yeah, I mean this is actually some good Thresh play as well. So a good display of Thresh's power. Actually, has been really good in that bottom lane. Draven has a big, huge CS lead at least out of that, but since then team fights have been going the other way, and Ken's been picking up kills in that. So that's why Ken.
Here comes no smite Dragon attempt number 2.
We'll see how this one goes. Going to wait in the wings. Hook comes in. Is going to be able to grab Zyra. And she has that Oracles on it, so this is actually be a really big pickoff if they're able to get her. And they are going to be able to do it. That's another way to steal Dragon.
Don't even need smite.
Kennen, the Dragon Master, although he is going to fall for this, and they might be able to get Chad as well. And yeah, I think they got him. Briefcase to the back of the head.
I'm not really sure why they committed to that. I mean, Hecarim could have just walked through there, casually smited, and walked away, most likely. Might have paid for it with his life, but he would have been the only one at risk, and that dragon, there's not really anything they could have done about it. But instead, really nice cleanup there from Wayforward, and smite not haunting there. Another nice hook. Getting Rise might not be the best choice, though. He's the only choice.
Yeah. Well, he's
still...
They put him below half, and they wasted his time and put a lot of damage on the turret, so props to them at least for that. But now the rest of the team is mounting up and pushing against them, and I think it's one of those scenarios too, is like, I agree completely. It's like way too many resources committed to something that could have easily been taken care of by one person. But I mean, props for taking the dragon, but you gave up 3 kills there.
Yeah, and they didn't really lose much else, so it wasn't too bad. But we're gonna looks like they're starting to go for Baron control here, and that's where the smite will have a much bigger impact. Yeah,
not to mention, I forgot too that Zyra had Oracles too, so they killed off Zyra with the Oracles and made her buy another one. So yeah, I mean, pretty good trade for them in that case. If every objective goes that way, then who does need smite at that point as well?
That's true. I mean, like I said, they're gonna have to fight for every objective. They lost the objective, but they won the fight, so it was about an even trade. I don't think they ended up taking any turrets off it. If they did, they would have been up in that engagement, but pretty even. If they had the smite, though, they would have had that for sure.
Yeah, and I think they also they actually put a lot of damage onto that turret in mid lane after that, so that might pay off for them later. So they're able to get off a counter push if they're able to win another engagement here. But those Thresh hooks, man, they've been key to either stopping these pushes or setting up some awesome plays. So we'll have to see, kind of pay attention to Lokro again, see if he can make some plays here. And he is going to be able to get Rise underneath the turret. Is Rise just going to turn on this and throw out damage? It might be his best option at this point because he's not going to be able to get out alive. And no, he's just going to die here. Zyra and a lot of defensive maneuvers coming in here. But without Rise in there, they don't really have that big, huge beefcake. And that was a huge pick.
Yeah. Lokro's just carrying this game for his team.
Get another Oracles? It could be. Coming in for him. Apprehend over the wall, possibly. We'll see. Oh, the briefcase.
Yeah. Briefcase to the cranium for the kill. Another Oracle's down. They're gonna get a turret here. They could get 2.
Yeah,
if Hecarim doesn't come right away, they're gonna get this inhibitor turret too.
Yeah, I mean, they're again, already had damage on that turret. They might be able to push in here. Kennen has some wave clear, but he usually has to get in there to get it off. So, see what happens. And a charm onto Hecarim right away.
Bursted.
Yeah, they got him.
Charmed and dragged out. Here comes Rise, though, with home guards. Not going all the way in, though. That turret's going to go down.
Yeah, I mean, this is a dangerous situation for him right now. Really, again, like, he needs the rest of his team backed up there, and if they, that pickup again, Lokro, kind of the star for his team right now. Now pulling
Yeah.
it through, although making a lot of really great plays for his team.
Yeah, Ari hitting some big charms as well. That's
Yes.
really helping them out. But low crow's hooks have just been really amazing here. You'll see the builds here. Darius is starting to tank up a bit. He's really the only super tanky member. I mean, Mundo's Mundo. He's pretty tanky as well, and that's why Ken probably went for the Blade of the Rune King. Would have liked to see him probably go for just a normal Bloodthirster or an Infinity Edge first, because he's probably behind on damage, just because those are the only two he's really going to be able to do a lot of damage to, because he's relying on the passive of the Blade of the Rune King for a large portion of his damage. He's ended up going with a Phantom Dancer. It still is the Avarice Blade, so I'm not sure what he's going to end up building that into. And he does pick up the F Sword now too.
Only time will tell.
Yeah. See if we get another big hook out of Thresh soon. No, just backs away. So right now, wards on Baron. There's quite a few of them.
Yeah, they basically just have everybody decide to copy each other and we see wards on top of wards. Same warding pattern from both teams, except for we see that Wayforwards actually isn't in the bush behind Baron.
Yeah, and Zyra with 2 Oracles lost, gonna be too poor to buy anymore. But we don't have one coming out from Wayforward either, so.
Oh, Draven bottom, and they're going for it now. That's the cue. They're gonna do this, and there is no smite, so they don't have to worry about the smite still. They just have to make sure they get some control and get their burst down, like we were talking about earlier. Draven's might throw his axes up here. That's the best he's gonna be able to do to get in some damage, and he might as well throw them actually pretty soon because probably not gonna get a steal off of them. But at least get in that team damage for when they decide to actually engage with it. And Ari's going to be coming over the wall and tries the Orb of Deception to steal. It's not going to be. It's going to be feasted. So they do have Baron now, but they've taken a lot of damage and have a lot of debuff on them for some damage. And Darius trying to do work here. Has that reset. Goes for the second dunk. Is not. I think it's going to be short. Actually gets the second one as well. So he has another reset in here. Rise left open here. Oh, 3v1 now. And they were able to take the Baron, but ended up losing that fight in the end, and now it's up to them to go in there and get that inhibitor, make them pay, get some benefit out of that big fight there.
Yeah, so I mean, Feast and Smite, there's just no way they're gonna, if those are up, that they're gonna be able to get those objectives. And they won the fight though. That was really nice. They were able to stall it out just long enough that Draven did get into the fight, and now they get an inhibitor out of it. So inhibitor for Baron, always a good trade. Gives you the map presence and just doesn't allow the other team to use Baron. There's only one person who's got it now. I believe it's just Shogath.
Yeah, it's just Shogath. He was the only one able to survive through that hellstorm that came forward. And we see Darius actually pick up Frozen Mallet now. So he's actually going to have a little bit extra slow in those team fights as well. And still get some extra damage out of it as well. Tanking up. Mundo finally has that Warmogs too as well, so he's pretty beefy now, and a lot of the damage is starting to really come online for Draven and Ari.
Yeah, they don't. Oh,
I thought he was gonna auto attack it again.
I thought he was. He's already got one.
He has 2. He got the first one. They failed the smite. Remember?
Oh yeah.
He's Kennen Dragon Master.
Yes.
Ooh, hook coming out there again. That was close. That would have been another good catch. And
yeah, so interestingly, they have 3 lockets now on SirsiDynix, and there's not really any armor on Wayforward, but they don't really need it. There's not a whole lot of regular attack damage. It's a lot of magic damage because a lot of that damage from Kennen is coming out of the passive, and Hegram's does a lot of magic damage as well. So tankiness is working out.
Akram going there just to love tap the turret he'd been working on previously before Draven pushed him off of it.
Yep. So 5-5 in turrets, 400 gold difference. Only one member has Baron buff. Inhibitor down. It's gonna come down to what can Wayforward do in the next 3.5, 4 minutes with this inhibitor down, if they can get any more advantages, or if it respawns, we'll just be in a completely even game, most likely.
Yeah, I completely agree. They're actually circling around on this Cho'Gath up here. Don't know if they're quite actually really wanting to come in here and
Oh,
actually be able
another
to do
nice
something
grab,
with it,
but not really anything you can do about it.
Shogath should be able to fend this one off. So we'll see actually how they decide to do this to push in here. It looks like what they're doing is they actually have 4 kind of hanging around this top lane, and we have Ahri actually pushing in towards this bottom lane. Everybody else, at least for SirsiDynix, actually focus up in that top lane, not on this bot lane push, although they're getting all the lanes pushing. So we'll see what they do with this, although they're backing far off into their own jungle right now.
So I thought they were going to put that teleport to use, but I guess since they lost vision, Ahri just went back. But yeah, Ahri does have teleport, so they could do some kind of split push, although it's kind of weird with just your AP going. But I mean, she's not going to get caught most likely because she does have the dash.
Yeah. If she had Lichbane, it would be a different story because then she could actually chunk the turrets with spells between that.
Yeah. But no, she's got the DFG, so she just wants to blow people up.
Yup. Kennen actually fending off that push bottom. We see Ryze actually backed off as well. And now they can actually go onto this top turret pretty easily. I like that SirsiDynix was actually able to reward up their jungle there. That cleared out by Thresh running through there. But yeah, they're going to give up this second outer turret. And they might make a fight for it, but we'll see how this actually goes. They have a lot of defense here between Hecarim, Zyra, and Cho'Gath. They don't have a lot of damage dealers yet until Ryze gets up here. It's running up here right now. This is going to be close. Turret does finally fall. Ryze now into the mix, is focusing on to Draven and trying to put in some damage. They're tanking through this. Darius in the background trying to get out some damage, but he is going to get picked off. Draven running for his life, and Cho'Gath will get picked off, but he was zoning out the rest of the team. And Ahri actually dashing past the front line is going to be able to pick off Hecarim, and now Ryze should be able to trade onto her, so double kill. So both teams trading 3 kills for 3 kills, but Wayforward was actually able to finally pick off that turret.
Yeah, so they come out a little bit ahead, and gold right back to pretty much even. But they are up the 1 turret there, and super minions coming in doing some damage there to the Nexus turret, taking it to about half. So good work there from Wayforward, just diving out that turret. Mundo didn't die. He took all of the turret shots from there. He didn't die. Ryze was able to come in and do quite a bit of damage though, and that's why they ended up trading 3 for 3. Ahri did a really nice job, getting onto all the people that died there though.
Yeah, I think one thing I didn't quite see all the way, but I haven't quite seen the coordination of all 3 of these Lockets the Iron Solar. Actually, in fact, I only saw 1 on cooldown from Cho'Gath, so I don't know if they're actually even using them in the team fights.
Full use out of there, yeah. And we finally do have an Aegis out of Thresh here. Or I'm not sure if he had that before. I don't think he did. So
he did.
That's as soon as that's into a bulwark, that's gonna be a huge change in these fights. Just because Ryze is doing a lot of these damage, and with his AoE, it's getting onto everyone. Mundo just picking up the blue buff there. Not really sure why they decided he should take it. I guess he was just in the area.
Yeah, there's a buff here. I gotta get it. This is the one time I don't have to worry about smite pressure.
Yeah.
I got this.
So they're gonna push back in for this open inhibitor.
Which they should do, although Draven hanging back a little bit, working on Raise, I guess? Or was he?
Yeah, they probably want to wait for him. He's up the Ruin King as well, which is good because obviously there's
tankiness coming from the team. Hecarim getting in there, trying to get onto Ahri. Ahri Spirit rushing out and back over the wall to get away from this Ryze, which is coming in here and starting to clean up. And this fight for Wayforward is not looking very good from. Didn't actually have the damage from Draven in there either. Yeah, and a lot of great CC landed in that fight.
That's the big factor. I don't know if they saw that or what, but that fight was not one that Wayforward wanted to fight. And they were lucky to get away with just a 1-for-1.
And now we're going to have possibly another Baron action. Zyra was picked off in that fight. Thresh very low here, but I think they got Mundo.
Yeah, he's dead.
And they get a shutdown on him, so it's pretty nice for them. Have the Oracles. No, there's no vision here. Thresh thinking about backing off. He has no real health here. So the best they could possibly hope for, I mean, I don't think they can really come in and think about actually coming in here and doing anything with this, honestly. They're going to flash him, try to steal, and lantern back out.
He might die. Ooh, he didn't.
I mean, the only thing I was thinking the only thing I was trying to think that they were trying to set up there is possibly like a flash over the wall and then Lantern back out, but no one had flash, so that wasn't gonna work. They were just lanterning to see, I guess. Watch the Baron disappear.
So yeah, essentially what happened there is Wayforward decided to give up Baron for Wraith Camp. That was the decision made there, because Darius wasn't in that fight. They lost members, they lost health, and the Baron became free.
I mean, the funny thing is too is like if you even talk about like once you hit 40 minutes of the game, like Dragon's nice, but like the overall goal that it gives, like as far as an objective, like isn't even that important. Like it's like if Dragon's not worth it at 40 minutes of the game necessarily, like as a big objective, especially when Baron's up, then Raze definitely is not an objective, and you focus on that push there, and it's pretty unfortunate. It's just kind of one of those moments where you kind of zone out a little bit, and
yeah,
you know, he won't make that mistake again. I'm pretty sure Dancing Buddha's not going to be making that mistake again.
Yeah, we'll see if this Baron translates into some turrets, though. If they're able to minimize the effectiveness of the Baron, then it won't be that big of a deal. I mean, they'll be a little bit behind just because of that one fight, but if they don't actually lose any more objectives, then they'll be in fine shape for the next fight.
Yeah, Rise is finally clearing out a lot of these items. It looks like he might be going for Randuin's as his next items too, as you see the Mayo come in there, but has that Seraph's Embrace as well, so
killable.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna deal out so much sustained damage. It's gonna be a machine gun of death when he wades into that team, and Ken also with an Infinity Edge too. So and yeah, cool, Warden's Mail as well. So yeah, they have a lot of tankiness potential and teamfight potential between those lockets. Like if they actually combined it all together, like they have a huge HP pool between that team and the team fight. So we'll see how they execute with that.
Yeah, we'll have to watch. I didn't really see the locket use in the last fight either, but they time it perfectly. They have a lot of advantages right now just in items.
Yeah, I mean they have a lot of really great late game champions between this Cho'Gath, Hecarim, Rise action going on right now. So we'll see how this plays out, trying to push off this wave. If we see SirsiDynix with this 5-man up and Baron kind of pushing in here. I think they almost should have just had Hecarim just go in there and pick that fight in the jungle when it started. Kind of backed off and set up for this push again, and realized that they didn't want to push anymore. Now Rise is actually blue pilling back to get base, and again, like we talked about, I mean, really they should just push down mid if they're gonna do anything, just because they're. I mean, this big huge wave is coming down here. That's an exposed inhibitor. Might as well just push it back up and try to make something happen. But if they waste this Baron, I mean, it's gonna be a shame.
Yeah, they probably should have tried to take that top tower a little more, but I guess with the mid lane pushing, it's difficult because they really can't lose that inhibitor. But that turret isn't very defendable right now, just because of the big wave that was coming in bottom. If they just waited it out a bit, I think they would have been able to take it and even up the turret score here.
Draven is bottom now, and they might be able to press onto this turret. Darius is far out wide. Looks like they're not quite able to cut him off yet. And yeah, Draven's still bottom, so this could be a scenario where they decide to go in there. Shield is down from Lantern.
Draven did a lot of good things early, but he seems to just be in bad places a lot as this game progresses. He does have home guards now, so he's able to join the fight in time.
Yeah,
not really any real damage going there. Let's see how much of the Baron buff's left.
Yeah,
it's like it's almost done.
Yep.
So I mean they're gonna get away from those mistakes relatively unscathed here. Just the gold difference from the Baron, pretty much, and the fights, the kills from the fights. That's going to be all they're punished with here, which is really good. SirsiDynix could have done a lot more damage. They're all just sitting on a ward right now, though.
Oh, Rise running in here, leading off the fight, dodges a lot of hate coming in there. Rupture's gonna miss. So they're just trying to get a pick off and get a fight away from a turret. They're a little skittish here, but they should go for. I mean, this turret's pretty low on health. They should try to make something happen. It looks like we're gonna see the other team oblige. Box is actually blown as well. Flash by Zara, and now here's the big engage from Hecarim, trying to lead this one off, but Kennen's gonna be caught out in the top lane right now, and Rise just waiting into the enemy team, trying to get in good position so he can still throw out spells, and we can see him start to whittle down members, although they switch their focus back onto them a little bit. Dunk from Darius onto Zyra now, finally gonna get out of there, and Rise starting to wear them down and get in here and do what he does best, but we do see Thresh is gonna finally fall. Mundo trying to get him. This is very, very close now. He is so strong now, has those clearing to do a lot of damage, but the burst damage coming back from Rise Oh man, this tank battle at least is kind of a little bit of flashback, but not quite as
Yes.
much.
No. But yeah, this time there's actually a huge damage source in Rise, and Ari was able to stay alive as well. Ari's just jumping through the fight, able to do a lot of damage. That was the only reason they didn't completely lose the game right there.
Yeah, and Rise and Baron buff is down though, so we should expect it back up in about 3 minutes. See
Yeah.
that come into play here.
Get an exact time. 47, 42. So a minute.
A minute. Excellent.
Minute. So yeah, they'll see if the Smite and the Feast should be able to take that away. So, I mean, if I'm Wayforward here, you just have to start that fight. You just have to go for it.
Yep.
You don't want to let Baron get low. If Baron gets to half health, that's probably the perfect time to start that fight. But if it starts to get close, it's too late. Because Baron's just going to go down. Unless something goes wrong, I mean, going in there and causing chaos could mean a panic smite, a panic feast, and they might be able to get a last hit on it. It's possible. But, yeah, we should see this fight pretty shortly.
Yeah, they're
Lanes
set up
are-
for. Yeah, they're set up for it. We see a lot of Wayforward actually over toward near this blue buff and in this bottom jungle, which is not where they needed to necessarily be if the Baron buff was going to be up. But I don't think they have the timer probably down at all. But Ward's going up from SirsiDynix towards this late game, and it seems just like the farther along in the game they go, it's like looks like they have a little bit of how to play this down more, and we're gonna see them now collapse in there, and we're gonna see that fight. This is probably gonna decide a lot of this game here.
Yeah, if this is a decisive fight, the game will just end.
Axe is coming through, going to catch some people on the way out. Baron debuff has been applied. Ari coming up over the wall, misses the charm through the enemy team. Hecarim trying to run down this Draven, is able to do it, taking a lot of damage here. Cannonball coming in, is going to get off a massive stun across the entire team now. Still going up. Ari cutting deep in there, trying to get past the front lines and get in some damage. And now trading with Rise, almost able to get him. Rise is going to fall, and Mundo is still up, and Mundo... Oh man!
Mundo could take down support on his own. He's not going to get Cho'Gath, but he misses the cleaver. They're both going to back off. It wasn't a decisive fight. It was 3 for 3.
3 for 3. Main carry is down. Mundo pushing here, should be able to get this inhibitor, I believe.
So I see one locket up still.
Nice hook by Lokuro again, and this should be a death for Zyra.
Yep.
Yeah, this should
Lokuro
be able.
doing really good work here.
Yeah,
This is going to be an inhibitor as well. So.
Yep, for sure.
So they end up with the advantage there. Draven just got blown up, but once again, Ari was able to do the damage she needed to and being able to juke through everything in order to win that fight.
Lantern! And he is out of dodge. The cherry pick strategy, OP. So inhibitor down. It's going to be hard for SirsiDynix. What they're really going to have to do is just push out the middle lane as far as they can if they want to try to make another play for Baron. Looked like they had a pretty good fight going, but at the end, Mundo just kind of being that tanky DPS that pulled through. And when you get in these late stages, I mean, he can do that with all that health and regen and damage that comes out from those infected cleavers.
Yeah, I don't know. Rise might be just kind of hitting a brick wall here because he just decided to go with more tankiness instead of more damage.
Yeah.
If he had, he really needs some magic penetration here that he's lacking because everybody on the other team has magic resist. Every single person has magic resist on that team.
Yeah, I feel like what he should have done is like instead. I mean, if you go Frozen Heart, or it's like you go Frozen Heart or Randuin. It's like you don't go both. Like both is too extreme here. And Rise,
especially against this.
Oh,
team.
Rise might get picked off here. This would be game pretty much if he does get picked off here. And it looks like he is. Gonna try to trade here, and yeah, he's alive. And I think that's Hecarim down doing Dragon.
Yeah, I mean they still do have this steal potential, but it's gonna be a lot of trouble.
That's what they got to play for now.
Have a chance. They're just gonna try and defend.
Yeah, they're not even pushing to take this, but here we go. The 5-man Baron push going to be coming in. Rise still has 50 seconds left, so Pretty much can just push whichever side they want to do and be fine with this. Kennen doing Raise. That's the story of late game. Gotta get those Raise.
Yeah. They're just gonna tank up the Nexus turrets, I think.
Looks like they're doing, hooking in the Cho'Gath and charming him.
Yeah.
Oh, this looks pretty brutal now. Box actually going to catch a lot of members, but Hecarim going to juke back out of it to try to get Ahri. Is going to be able to get Ahri. Now coming back in here, has the Zyra ult to try to cover his attack. Is going to be able to get another kill as Kennen comes in here from the side, but now Kennen is just right in their face. Darius is going to knock him out, and now
Zyra's done too.
we have 11 seconds.
Nice hook again.
Ooh. Money
That's about
all game.
300. 300, yeah. Lokro, your hooks have been amazing all game.
2 seconds on Rise. He's going to be the the last hope for SirsiDynix here.
I don't know if they can actually. I mean, with the minions here, they'll probably get through it. But
yeah. Oh no, he's doing some work here. Although it finally started to get chipped away. Mundo tanking a lot of that turret through here. Gonna be able to get onto that fountain.
it'll walk up a bit more, refresh those home guards.
Yeah, he would get healed instantly too.
Yep. Didn't do it. That'll be the end.
Yeah, I mean that's game. Well played by Wayforward. Again, kind of the theme of the day has been resilience. He's been resilient in that late game and closing it out, and really well done by them.
Yeah, Ahri, I mean, Mundo just being a huge tanky body was pretty huge in those fights, but I mean, Ahri just being able to do all the damage to the right people so that it would just tanks left at the end, where Mundo's going to have that advantage every time. Did really well, and obviously Lokro with all those hooks, just setting up fight after fight after fight after fight.
Yeah, I mean his hooks not only defended, but like they were also just great pickoffs. And I mean, there's a few. I mean that Rise pickoff too was key. I mean there was a lot of great moments from him. So I mean props to him carrying this game almost a little bit from the support role. 28 assists. So he only missed out on 6 of his team's kills. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he was definitely my MVP.
Actually, never mind. He only missed out on 2 of his kills because he got 4 of the kills.
Yes.
So yeah, there's 2 kills that did not involve him. I mean, that's some sick support play.
Yeah, no, he did really well. I think that SirsiDynix might have had a better chance to win if Rise was just building more damage, more Rise items. Like that tanky, like the Rylai's is kind of confusing as well. Like, I don't really usually see that on Rise. And he just went for a super tanky build, and yeah, it took forever to kill him, but that was fine. The other team was totally willing to do that fight. They have a Mundo, they have a Darius, like they're willing to play the tank fight. They're fine with that. So Rise just didn't do enough damage, and then it started to show in those later fights.